Hey all, so in this video I'll show you / explain to you how this 1.05 5x4 piston works. So I will do this in the form of a tutorial, but I will also explain stuff along the way. So sometimes I will play stuff and then break it again. It's not too bad for this though, so you can still follow along, and I will point it out, hopefully if I remember. But just so you know, yeah. This, as I said, it opens and also closes in 1.05 seconds. Size are not showing sadly, but can't really be asked. It is not input bugged, it is fully reliable from my testing. If it's not, or if it turns out to not work for you, let me know. From like I am in 1.20.3, 1.20.3. Am I in 1.20? I'm 1.21.3. And yeah, it needs targets and log leaf and things and lecterns and stuff, but yeah, you can figure out what version it is if you like want to build it in a older one. This is also more about me explaining how the stuff works. Now it is 432 blocks in volume, which is 9 across, 12 high and 4 deep. And to build it you will need a stack and 14 for hallway blocks, 31 wiring blocks and 10 wiring blocks that need to be transparent. Some of these are sliders and stuff, and those don't really need to be transparent, but always the sliders transparent unless they don't have to be transparent, blah blah blah. 34 steel pistons, 9 normal pistons, 38 dust, 39 dust, 38 observers, 6 node blocks, 1 hopper, 3 targets, 2 activator rails, 2 scaffolding, 1 redstone block, 1 cobblestone wall, and this has to be a wall, can't be like a glass pane or a fence. This has to be a wall. 1 furnace, 1 iron trapdoor, 1 oak log, oak leaf, like this can be a fence or glass pane, or also oak wall, like an oak wall, cobblestone wall. Those could both be a wall. But this has to be a wall, and this can be anything that's like a shape updater in 2 directions and 4 directions, I mean. 1 comparator, 1 repeater, and 1 redstone lamp. And also to fill this you need, like, I mean, you can also get another thing. You need like a signal strength of 10, or not 10, but like 10 works with this. So you just need 2 shovels, which for some reason I forgot to add here, which is a great sign. But oh well. So let's start off with the building. So gonna go to the back left corner, go place 2 blocks like so, add 2 so we have 3, and at 3 so we have 4. And this is the bottom corner of the hallway, so we're gonna place 1 diagonally and 1, 2, 3, 4 extra blocks, go on not diagonally, 1, 2, 3 on top of that, so you have the 4x5 hallway right here. Then we're gonna sticky pistons, sides, pretty simple, just some straightforward singles. The top has a triple, and that is what forces this to be 1.05. Bottom could be faster, bottom really isn't max, it's just wired in some way. So we have the doubles. And you'd expect like the storage to be, pairway storage is on the side as your area of 2 in the hallway, so like this is not where storage is. You'd expect something like this, but that's actually not the case. We don't have this. We have this, but the second block for this one will be stored right here and put in like so, and then we have another storage unit right here. It seems a bit weird, but it's really useful. Now I will wire the bottom first, because the bottom is independent, but the top requires the bottom, which I will show you later why. So I'm gonna go to the right corner down here, place 2 wiring blocks, and this is the input. Then we're gonna have a piston right here, null piston, put dust like so. Now we're gonna have 2 observers like so, and I'm gonna grab some blocks really quick. Yeah, that should be decent. And we're gonna have like this for now, will be like this will change, but I'm just gonna put null block right here, This has to be transparent. Then we're gonna go forward and across to this. Or glass or transparent block, normal block, up one normal block, normal, and these like so. Some of these will get replaced, but that I will do in a second. So this powers all the top storage. Now we'll like the first. Now we need to power the second storage with, which is also not that hard. When I have an observer for like this one, put a node block here, and 2 observers like so. So this powers 4 game ticks later. For this one, we're gonna have an observer right here powering this block, which powers this, which that update we're gonna detect with an observer. Just remove this and then place it, I guess. And then here gonna put a node block here and put 2 observers like so, and that's alright. So this does the storage, as you can see. Now we need to do now is power this line, and that we will do via a target. A normal piston right here, and we're gonna have 2 free observers like so. 1 glass block. This one can be a normal block, but yeah, it's slider, so that's glass. So I have a normal block right here, directly above, and 2 normal pistons like so. So this works. So, and actually if we look this now, yeah, so we just need to power this one more time. This is decent. And this other pulse we will get from here and here, and we're gonna put a node block here. And this we will replace with an observer. Gonna need that later. And we have another node block here, like so. So we power this 3 ticks later. So that's pretty nice. And you see like the second one, this dot, just because it takes like it's resetting at that point. And well, so only the double is missing. Or double extension. And if this is pushed down, only like retracting this one down is missing. So there's actually like the same sequence on both edges. So we just need to wire the double, which, I mean, we have a lot of space left for this also. It didn't seem easy, but it is easy. So we're gonna have 4 normal blocks like so. So like 3 next to this, why is there dust here? And then 1 extra. And that will have a normal block here. Then we're gonna put another observer down here, and the double will be this lamp. So we're gonna double pulse this, but because slider is slow, the slider will only go once, and that's like creates the pseudo double, which is pretty neat. Nice. So now I'll actually quickly do this, so that like gives me a bit of a better idea of where stuff is. And by the way, I guess I should mention that because it's the only real not hard, but like interesting thing in this is this. So when we retract this is fine, but if we have like this retracts a block, you can see this doesn't extend, and that's because at the time this one starts powering, this one isn't finished retracting, so it is can't power. But if it's like if the block isn't retracting and it doesn't need to be placed, then this can extend earlier. And this timing is really neat. If you've done like a 6x6 or a bigger door with the standard layout, you've probably seen this, like a link of 4 game ticks between. It's really useful. So now we're gonna wire the top and the side, because this side we will just have just like so, and this does everything except for the bottom piston. So we're gonna have another observer here for just like so. Then we're gonna go up another one, and this will be another piston. I'm gonna go with 2 observers, put blocks here, just because we're gonna do the I'm gonna do closing first. and like so. Then we're gonna have 2 blocks here for this input and the 2 rails. I'm gonna place 3 observers along the way. So this does the extension, and it's also the right timing for opening to detect. So now we just need an input delayless extension of these pistons, and then like powering this, like free game taking the bottom piston when they are in this position. Easy enough. How will I start with this? I'm gonna put on the input line right here, and we're gonna go down here for reasons that will be apparent later, and like so. And we're gonna have a target right here, and a transparent block right here. This will also get replaced. And that's because we will power this from the input, with which will block this, and we will keep this powered. So when this uncuts, like it immediately powers, and when we remove the power source, it unpowers. So that's like an easy way of getting the delay we need. Now this will be because this also is the part where we lead the delay from. I'm gonna put our leaves here, put a null piston here, and so, and we're gonna add a sticky piston and this. Now to power this in this position, which obviously can't be a redstone block because of this, we will put a redstone comparator right here, and a furnace right here, and put 2 shovels into the furnace. Because, well, we need like to reach all the way here, so like we need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stinger strength. Well, technically 6, I guess, but well. Now this does the extension for this, but now we need to free game take this piston in this position. So we have this input line right here. And how do we free game take this? So actually free game taking this is rather easy, because we don't free game take this, we 2 game take this line, but in a way where the piston only realizes that it's unpowered when it self-updates it. That's fully extended, thus like doing acting like it gets a free game take pulse. This means we power this line from 2 game takes to 4 game takes, because this piston like arrives here at 3, and then it's just extending. I don't know if it actually, it should arrive at 3 game takes. So, and then it starts extending, like it updates. Oh, it realizes it's powered, so it starts extending, and this unpowers, but because it's QC, this doesn't realize it gets unpowered. So when it's fully extended, it checks again, it self-updates and then checks, am I powered? Then it realizes, oh, I'm not powered, and then retracts, and that's how the free game take works. Now we will get this free game take via this piston, updating this does. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now also, by the way, like this observer, just like if you're curious, because obviously like the pistons will be in this position, thus like they would directly get powered. But this line powers instantly, like turns on instantly on closing, on opening. All this like takes 2 game takes, so that's like why that works out. Like so. And now if we look at this, it doesn't work. That's great. What grave mistake have I did I do? Oh, I forgot this dust isn't here anymore. Also, this needs to be a target by the way, because otherwise I would power this. Makes sense, I hope. And if this were to be a target, this also would need to be a target, which just is a mess. Now we need to zero tick this, and then just like 2 zero ticks to this line. So simple enough, really. Now this zero tick right here, we are going to get that via this gen. And we're gonna power this gen via. I'm gonna put this block here because then I'm not risking it of updating it later, because this is like where we're gonna have the one glass pane. We're gonna go to up this, like this can be whatever shape updater. Can't be a bell, because then you would need like for a build to work here. You need another. You need a support block, so like if there would be no support block, this would, yeah, unless you opted to press the bell, it would, well, like it would question your sanity. So just use like a fence or something. Now we're gonna get into this gun because we have, or I guess we can also look at it really quick. Because we have 2 0-3 pulses left and we have quite a bit of space, and also like we need to put aside, but it should also not be an issue. So we need somewhat game tech here, so we're gonna put us scaffolding like so. And to power the last 2 retractions, actually I will show that really quick, and for this I will remove this. We will use a very interesting thing. So we're gonna go down 1 like so. Gonna have a null block here, a redstone block here, and you might actually already guess where this is going. Null block there, and so. 2 observers like so. This is a null block, we'll change later. Now the thing is, I guess I'll also show you like with this. You can see nothing like this only takes once. Yeah, it is because this like is a bit iffy to like how this handles. So the way this gonna happen is 1 down, and we're gonna like so. You can see like this creates 2 0-ticks. And actually, like the second 0-tick, I will explain that it's a pseudo. So, 0-tick this line, and then so you see this turns on, and it's on, and those pistons are like just arrived, so like they know, like extend, not extend, but they now realize, oh, we can retract. But because and like then is also like removes with bad, which lets them all 0-tick. And as you can see, like this, despite it only like receiving an update from here, technically, and I guess this also, I'll also go into why this isn't location in a second. But because this is a pseudo 0-tick, we circumvent the need for a lot of rising edge bed, and the falling edge bed is just like the line turns off, and then like this updates, and it just like propagates, ignoring this does update, which also does stuff, but but obviously this is too big. So the way we do this is we're gonna just have nothing here. Yeah, we need this though, and take some orange blocks like so, orange glass down, and this will get sent up from this, and that's pretty neat. That's also why we need bottom to work for top to work. But how do we power this? With this piston. This piston will act like a toggle, and we'll power it like so. And now, but oh, this can't power this because clock. So we're going to need to redirect that. Where's electron? This could also be like a trap test. But oh, this isn't parting, so we need a target here. But this, oh, it's also redirected, so we need a directional redirector here, and this is where like I use a repeater. You could also use like a observer, but then you'd risk depression. So I just use rep. You could also do this, but then you risk uncontainedness, so just do this. Yeah, so now for this side, and that's where the wall comes in. And this is actually a little known fact, but a wall, like recognizing the block on top of it, changes sets, like how these like massive thingies like with like instant signal transmission are possible, and that's what we abuse here. And 2 observers like so, and just power this like so, and that is decent enough. So now I will explain why this red dust here is actually not locational. So this unpowers instantly, and this can only update, I mean it also does update I guess the bottom pistons, but they're not powered yet, so that's not an issue that, bro. I'm such a E. So that's not an issue. And this is all not an issue. And this also not. And then here with zero-tick. And this zero-tick would actually be locational if there's a piston here, if like there were to be a piston in this location. But there is not. So this, yes, it could locationally update, but that doesn't matter. So it just zero-ticks regularly. Then we zero-tick this. But because these got rejected, they update, like they self-update before these pistons update. So this is reliable, and the dust updating this or this, because like having a random update order like between those two pistons doesn't matter, because the bottom one has privileges, like updates first because of the self-update. So that is actually reliable because of that. Yeah, which I find quite cool, because like usually you could never have this kind of dust thing without it being like locational. But here I can get away with it because I actually have never have this on in a like way where this is can be locational, because like yeah, it's kind of cool. And the one thing that's pretty neat about the store, yeah. That's about it. Yeah, I guess as you can as you could also, bottom wasn't really hard, and top, I mean top, like it's quite like there's a stuff going on, but it's not like crazy hard. I had some issues with this because in some locations it actually did work with this, and then I had something like so, and then like updated this. So like I had this weird, like this piston, the side piston was used as an updater, but that ended up being locational for reasons. So I ended up just having a slider, which is way easier and simpler and cleaner. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with the story. This also, by the way, yeah, this can't be a node block for obvious reasons, I hope. But it could be a rail if that's like, if you want that, I guess, but yeah. This was the tutorial. Yeah, if you're watching this, like this will be like either the first or second video scheduled for when I'm in Iceland. I don't know. But yeah, so if you respond to this, like I can obviously respond to comments, but yeah, so this video will be like kind of outdated. I mean, it's this 22nd of July right now, so yeah. Without further ado though, thanks for watching, I'm out, and catch you in the next one. See ya!